This is an ADC warning. The crimes you're about to see are true. Only the names were changed to protect the ignorant. Tonight on America's Dumbest Criminals, you'll see a flasher who falls asleep on the job, our shoplifting film fest, and a drug deal that goes wrong, then goes right. These are just a few of America's Dumbest Criminals. Welcome to America's Dumbest Criminals. I'm Daniel Butler. In terms of sheer intellectual power, street smarts, savvy, and plain old common sense, the criminals on our show have very little. Let's take a look now inside the empty minds of America's dumbest criminals. Our first case comes to us from Captain Rick Billiou in Las Vegas, Nevada.
We had gotten information that there were some prostitutes working out of a pizza parlor, a local pizza parlor, and we'd gotten their number, and we had set up and arranged a date where they would come to the hotel and provide their services for a fee. But we had to consummate the actual face-to-face solicitation, so they came to the door. Unbeknownst to us, they also had worked the streets and immediately looked at the three of us, pointed to the one and said, "You're a police officer." And we said, no, we're not police officers, we're from San Diego. We're just here on a convention. No, you're a police officer. And she had her friend with her, there were two, and they pointed this one younger officer out. And I know you're a police officer. The third officer and myself started telling this prostitute, no, he's our nephew. We're all from San Diego, we're here on a convention. And she was persistent, and then at one point she gave his name because he had arrested her in the past. And we thought, oh boy, we've had it now. Not only does she know he's a police officer, but she knows him by name. No, I know you. You're Officer so-and-so, and I know you. You've arrested me before. No, I'm not going to party, and I'm not going to date with you. I'll date with you two guys, but I'm not going to date with you. And she actually made us have him leave the room, and then she went ahead with the solicitation. We arrested her, and her and her partner. And
now, Sergeant Ernest Burt tells us about a cold-blooded rubber.
One time we was serving one on a guy that had been breaking in cars in the western part of town. So we got there, and the mother said he wasn't there, and we looked over the house, and we kept looking. You know, we followed each other around to make sure each one go in the room. And I went back in the back in the kitchen, I went to this room, and I looked and looked, you know, you get that gut feeling, somebody is in here. And I looked and looked, and I couldn't find the guy nowhere. And I looked up at the wall, and I saw a little section that was left open. And so, in the deep freezer in here, we had been there about 20 minutes then looking for the guy. So I went to jump up on the deep freezer, then some say, wait a minute. I stepped back off the deep freezer, and I looked at it, and I opened it up, and there he is squat down there in the deep freezer. If he had been there about another, we had stayed about another 20 minutes or so, he might not have got out of there. His skin had already started turning ashy white, like when we got him. And when I got him, I put the handcuffs on, he was cold.
And thus, the dumb criminal sickle was born. And now, actual surveillance cam footage we call attention shoplifters. Folks, if you haven't figured it out yet, there are surveillance cameras everywhere. Cameras that can zoom, cameras that can pan, cameras that will follow you everywhere you go, like these two ladies, who just happen to be stealing buttons from designer blouses. We assume they just needed to replace buttons on their blouses. And we all know how expensive buttons are. Now, let's see who's over in this side of the store. Another shopper who's trying to find her size? No, she's just trying to find the opening to her shopping bag where she places the garment she just stole. Even Grandma is switching price tags on towels, thinking no one is watching. But folks, the camera is watching you. Coming up on America's Dumbest Criminals, a prowler who concealed more than a weapon. And now, an undercover officer discovers just how gullible a dumb criminal can be.
I guess one of the dumbest clients that I ever did business with, we were buying crack cocaine. We'd call the guy's pager. He'd return the call, made the agreement to meet us. So the guy shows up, and he wants me to prove who I am. I reach in my back pocket to get my wallet that has my identification, and I'd gotten the wrong wallet. When I opened it up, my police identification card was there, and of course it has the word police, it has the badge in the thing with my photo. He looked at it and says, "No, man, you're a cop." And I said, "No, hell, that's just my identification in case I lose my wallet." "Oh, okay, well, I sure hope you're not the cop." So I bought $100 worth of crack cocaine off of him and sent him to jail.
And now you know the rest of the story. In Georgia, it used to be against the law to slap someone on the back, but it was, and still is, legal to give somebody a swift kick in the rear. And now, inside the courtroom for trial and error. On the stand, a teller explains how she was issued a holdup note.
Miss Reed, you claim my client flashed a holdup note, quickly grabbed some cash, and sprinted from the room.
Yes, he did.
Well, if everything happened so quickly, at what point were you able to positively identify my client?
When he handed me the holdup note, it was written on the back of a subpoena, issued in his name.
Next, Captain Annetta Nunn gets help from the Red Army to make an arrest.
We received a call of a loud music complaint. And we were riding the area, and we didn't hear any loud music, so we told dispatcher we didn't hear anything, but we were still riding. And we passed a house, and we heard glass breaking. And we saw these males run out of the house and take off beside the house. So we pulled up, and I took off running after them. And Diane kind of lost me. I finally got on the radio and told her where I was and to come on across. And I told her, I said, hey, these guys, they ran over here. They went around the side of the house. So we were about to split up. She was going one direction, I was going the other around the side of the house. All of a sudden, we heard bushes moving. So we said, they're over here. And we went around the side of the house, and the guy was balled up on the side. He was like laying on the ground, but he was laying in an ant bed. And that's what made him start moving. Ants were covering him.
Put your hands on top of your head. Come on. Put your hands on top of your head. Spread your legs. Do it now. Spread your legs, man. What's your problem? Why are you itching?
Got ants all.
Put your hands
So
on
he
top
had to
of your
stand
head.
after we got through searching, these ants, and he's just trying to get them off of him. But I guess if he hadn't moved, we might not have seen him balled up in those bushes. But the ants got him.
A new twist on taking a bite out of crime. And now, more actual surveillance cam footage of shoplifters at work. The camera is watching, folks. Do you remember the television show where you won a shopping spree in a store? Well, these shoplifters think they must have won that, blatantly stuffing clothes into their purses and bags. Now, what's over on this side of the store? Ah, a teenager who's decided to take the 5-finger discount on a pair of headphones. People, the surveillance cameras are watching you. You will get caught, and you will do time. These men are not rushing out to tell these ladies to have a nice day. Thanks to surveillance cameras, shoplifting is the dumbest crime of all. Next up, Sergeant Paul Heaton tells us about a drug deal on wheels.
We went down there, and while we were there, we noticed an individual about a half a block away in a wheelchair. We recognized him as a known drug dealer. So we thought we'd go down and just speak to him, say hello, let him know we were in the neighborhood. Well, he was in a wheelchair, keeping in mind because the previous week he had accidentally shot himself in the foot with a shotgun while cleaning it. And so he had to be in a wheelchair for a couple weeks. So we're going to walk up to him, say hello, As soon as he sees us start toward him, he throws something down on the ground on the corner and starts to casually wheel away. So we walked up behind him and pulled his chair over.
Didn't drop nothing.
Didn't drop anything. Let's see what we have here. Oh my goodness, crack. Okay. Is this yours by any chance?
What you hassle me for, man?
I think this is yours, isn't it?
I ain't never seen it.
Is that your name on this bottle?
It seems that because of that self-inflicted gunshot wound, the doctor had issued a prescription to him for pain. And still affixed to the bottle was the prescription label with his name and address on it.
This was one dumb criminal who was downright dumb. In Pennsylvania, you have better odds of winning the state lottery than of ever being paroled if serving a life sentence. In fact, the odds would be better at a cross-dressing monkey motocross race. Coming up, a dumb criminal takes a nap in his birthday suit on America's Dumbest Criminals. In our next story, an undercover officer tells us the bare facts of a case we call Buck Naked.
I was dispatched to a man exposing himself. Myself and another female officer arrived at the scene, and we found a gentleman sitting in his car asleep outside of a convenience store with no clothes on. We approached the vehicle, knocked on the window, and woke him up.
Wake up, sir. Roll down the window. Hello, sir. What is your name? What's your name, sir? What is your name? Good morning.
Bob Franken.
Bob Franken, Bob. Okay, where's your clothes?
I'm sorry. I don't have any clothes on. Hi.
We can see that.
Hi.
You realize we're going to have to take you in for indecent exposure.
The gentleman asked,
We got a call. You've
can
been
I
here
put
a
my
long
clothes on?
time, sir.
I looked in the vehicle. All I saw were his shoes and socks sitting on the floorboard of the passenger side. And I explained to him I didn't think that was going to make too much difference. He then told me that his clothes were stuffed between the two seats.
Yeah, I keep these in my seat mainly so nobody will take them.
You're safe now. Your clothes are safe with us.
Okay.
I allowed him to put some clothes on.
Can you move around in the car maybe to get it? I don't want to mess up your little outfit there. Okay.
Placed him under arrest, transported him down to the jail.
I don't know if that's a good...
We don't have that many flashers fall asleep on the job.
Once again, case closed on another dumb criminal. ADC quiz number 324. In Italy, a man riding on a motorcycle was accused of purse snatching. He was positively identified by one of his victims. Was his victim A, a nun, B, his mother, or C, his probation officer? The correct answer is B. She recognized him because he was wearing her purse as his disguise. And now, more actual surveillance cam footage of dumb criminals shopping. Folks, it doesn't matter where you shop or who you are, and it doesn't matter how nonchalantly you go about it. If you shoplift, you will be caught on tape, and you will be caught, like this lady stealing picture frames. Everywhere in the store, the camera can follow you. And everywhere in the store, people are shoplifting. These two boys have picked up a watch. It'll fit into our pocket, so why should we pay? They pocket the expensive watch and start out of the store. Then, the alarms start to sound. There are alarms everywhere. Detectors everywhere. Sensors on every garment. Invisible strips you can't even see on every item. And the camera is always watching. In Nebraska, it used to be against the law for barbers to shave chests. And yet, it is legal to give a monkey a manicure if he had a shave and a perm. Undercover narcotics is dangerous work. You've got to be ready for anything. Having dealt with drug dealers before, Officer Dan Ledger knew the unpredictable breed could be both mean and touchy-feely. Officer Ledger is on the right, and he's about to do a drug deal for crack cocaine when the dumb dealer decides to frisk him.
I ain't got no ears, man.
You don't got no ears.
Hey, man, you're a cop.
No, man, listen, check this out. Listen,
Listen, hey man,
my lawyer told me to get this.
My lawyer?
Yeah, listen, my lawyer told me to get this. That way, he can record it all and prove entrapment. No, check it out. It's new, man. You should get one of these, too.
The undercover cop told the dealer where to get a wire and gave him tips on how to wear it. Officer Ledger even played the recording for the dumb criminal a short time later in a court of law, just before the dealer was found guilty.
We can work a deal with it
All
with
right,
the
man.
rock.
We'll make a deal with that.
All right.
And now he's the only dumb criminal wearing a wire in prison.
Our final story tonight comes to ADC from Officer Steve Turner of the Nashville Police Department. Let's find out what happened when a cat burglar curled up for a cat nap. In Junior meets the Sandman.
I got a call that the house had been broken into. The neighbor watching the lady's house who was gone out of town.
This was a house burglar's dream come true. A woman leaving town, an open house with no one home. Let's go inside the dumb criminal mind for this house burglary. I'll just pry open this door, and I'm Ollie home free. There, here we go. Oh, hey, that was easy. All right. Let's see. Ooh, a nice stereo. Oh, I can get a lot for this at the pawn shop. Ooh, and a lady's watch. Hey, my girlfriend will love this. Let's see if there's anything in this mug. No, but wait, what's this? Cash money. Is this a great day or what? Oh, and look, a colored TV. I can get at least $100 for this at the pawn shop. You know, I'm getting kind of hungry. Let's see what's in the fridge. A whole roasted chicken. That'll be perfect. Maybe some iced tea with that. No, better have the cranberry juice. You know what my doctor said.
After he had checking all the rooms out and taking what he wanted, then he decided to just take him a little plate and go upstairs and look at the television for a little while.
Yeah. I see what's down here. Well, I could take a shower. I'll do that later. You know, a nap would be good. Man, that bed's kind of small. I don't know. Oh, king size. Now this is nice. Hey, and wait a minute. It's a water bed. Great. Ooh, and she's got cable. Is this a swell job or what? I think I'll just lie down and watch a little tube. Yeah, I can get the TV and the stereo and all that other stuff after I watch a little TV. Well, maybe I'll just take a little nap. Boy, being a house burglar sure is a swell job. Junior, her flight was canceled. She's back, and she brought friends.
Junior, wake up!
He just said, "Oh man, I just was tired." He said he was tired, so I guess he had a long day.
And with that, we come to the end of another show. Our continued thanks to police officers across the nation for their stories. I'm Daniel Butler saying, don't be dumb, don't break the law. So long.